Hey there, I told you I would give you a video on how to insert images into your documents and caption them. It's a little bit easier in Word, but in this case, um, I'm gonna show you a route that makes it work well. Okay, so first thing to do is find a spot in your document where you want to insert it. In this case, I have down here. Um, I want to insert, drawing, new. And then here, I'm going to bring in the picture that I want to import. So in this case, I'm going to upload something from my computer. Um, these are a lot of images that I use for our World War II unit. So let's put this image in here, the Iwo Jima flag raising. And it's probably going to be pretty big. Okay, bigger than I want. So I'm going to scale it down to something that works. Always scale from the corner. That way when you make your picture bigger or smaller, you don't lose the proper aspect ratio. So now I've got a picture that I want, and now I want a caption too. So I'm going to click here and make a text box right underneath the picture. So like this. I'm going to call it Figure 1 because it's my first picture. Iwo Jima flag. Okay, and note it's left justified, so the first thing we want to do is come up here and click on center align. So now it's center aligned. And if I drag it along until I see this red line, now I know that it's centered on the image as well. The next thing to do is select both pieces with, in your case, so in my case it's a right click and select it again. In your case, it's a click on the touchpad with two fingers, and then you'll see down at the bottom here, group. So now I've grouped it, and what that means is that the image and the text are one thing. So if I move them around in the document, they'll stay together. So now that I've got that together, I can click Save and Close, and now it's embedded in my document. But it's not exactly the way I want it. Um, by default, when you stick a image into Google Docs, I'm clicking on it. By default, down here, it goes in line. Okay. What we want is wrap text. So if I click wrap text, now you can see that the text goes around the document. And the default is also a 1/8 inch margin, and I would set that to a 1/4 inch margin, so we have a little bit more room. You've got some options here too. If it's too big now, you can make it even smaller here, and it scales. It scales just fine. The other option though is if you, like, suppose you want to make this figure 2, and you can click on edit, change this to figure 2, save and close, and now it becomes figure 2. So, and when it's in when we have the wrap text, we can drag this picture and put it wherever we want it. We can put it on this side, and note the red line comes on to show me that I'm right against the right margin. So now I can put it over here, or I can move it up further and move it down further so that it's right at the bottom of my paragraph. So now I want to put in another, let's say I want to put in another picture. So again, insert, I need to click off it. So insert, drawing, new. Click on image. Find a picture that we want to put in. Here's another Iwo Jima picture. Put this one in. Scale. See, it's gotten stretched out. See how it's starting to get kind of pixelated and blurry? Let's make it the size that it's not so pixelated and blurry. And we'll add a text box. Put that in. And seeing we called the last one Figure 2, we'll make this one Figure 1. Marines on the beach. Actually, we'll get beach because it's a title font. Again, center it in the text box. Center the text box on the picture. Group and save and close. And now we've inserted that picture where we want it. Again, remember that it's in line. So let's put wrap text on. Make our margin 1/4 inch. And we're good to go. We have images embedded in our document. Now suppose we want to put like a map in, for example. We want to put it down here. We want to put a map here. So we'll do the same thing. Insert, drawing, new, image that I've already saved. You can search them from the internet or whatever you want to do, but I've saved my images to my computer. So now I've got this map of Iwo Jima, and I want it big. I want it so maps are different because we need to be able to see the whole thing. We need to be able to see the entire image and have good resolution. So now we can make it as big as we want. Again, we need a figure. We need to title it. We need to know what it is. So we'll call this Figure 3 Map of Iwo Jima Battle. Again, center. Center the text box on the map. Select them both. Group them both. Save and close. Now we see that it covers the entire width of the page from margin to margin, and it's readable. I can read this whole thing. You added a caption, and we're ready to go. You don't have to do anything more than that. If you really needed to, you can right-click on it and go break text, and that will make sure that the text is above and below your image. And we can move it around a little bit just to make sure it fits, but we're pretty good. So that's how you insert and caption images in Google Docs.